Americana Outdoors recently had the honor of covering Sportsman's Choice and Record Racks bucks for the Brave event sponsored by Cargill and others. This momentous event offers our brave veterans from all branches of the military, as well as retired law enforcement officers, firefighters, and EMTs, a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to partake in a donated outdoor experience that transcends far beyond just a regular hunt.
We are at Thumbtack Ranch, and it's owned by Trinity Oaks. It's a nonprofit organization that we've worked with and sponsored for several years. This is the 6th year now. This is the 4th year that I've guided and volunteered at this Bucks for the Brave event with these veterans and first responders. We go through a long nomination process throughout the year to select military veterans and first responders, and they're nominated from friends, family. Go onto our website and give a little bio on them, and we'll go through a selection process and pick those veterans and first responders. Everything's paid, flight, travel. We pick them up at San Antonio Airport, bring them down to Thumbtack Ranch here in Batesville, Texas, and then the fun gets started. We go on hunts, they get a trophy, they get several management opportunities, hogs, predators, all kinds of stuff. 3 meals a day, great accommodations, and a lot of fun along the way too.
When you come to an event like this, and when you have these retreats and these getaways where soldiers can get back out here, sailors, airmen, Marines, Coast Guard, they can get out here in nature and they can really enjoy themselves. And there's nothing to be worried about. There's no need to worry about the cell phone or what's going on in the rest of the world or what bills you got to pay. Just sit down and reflect back on your service and share your stories with your other brothers and sisters that are out here with you. And I think that's how you find that healing. Because this little ring that I wear on my finger is my salute hand, my trigger finger. It's called the hashtag 22 kill ring. On average in America, 20 to 22 veterans are taking their lives every day. And why are they doing that? Because they don't have the opportunity like this to come out and just let it go, to decompress, open up, and let other people care for them. And some of our stories, some of our experiences, we can only really open up with other veterans because, some people in the civilian world just don't understand what we've seen, what we've been through. And so that's why I think it's so good for us to be able to reach out communities like this and the volunteers that you see coming out here and just blessing these veterans and truthfully putting deeds to the words of thank you for your service.
I think it puts you in a different frame of mind because we get so wrapped up in the world around us. So many of us carry so much baggage from the things we experienced in the past. So when you're out here, you're in the moment. And a lot of times the healing comes in the stories. So that's a good thing. So it's a neat opportunity. We just have a chance to forget the world and the worries and just be treated like kings out here. And it's neat, it's humbling because you don't expect it, you don't feel you deserve it. So that part's hard. It was very uncomfortable to begin with because it just doesn't feel like you should be having this opportunity, so.
So we have a lot of veterans that work for Cargill, the parent company, and Record Rack being our deer feed. And so they get it, and our company gets it too. And we have a lot of leadership people that are from the military. They want to give back, they're about community enrichment. And so to be involved in an opportunity like this to help sponsor a ranch and to partner with Trinity Oaks to do this is pretty cool in our way of giving back.
That's one of the greatest things about working for Cargill and being able to represent the Record Rack brand is knowing that it is backed up by a company that really wants us to go spend time and do these things and seek these opportunities to give back to our community. And that's just a real rewarding thing for an employee to be able to be a part of, and I'm just really proud that they take that position.
I just think it's awesome. I think this is one of those events, if you're a corporation and you're looking for something to get involved in, that is the right thing. This is it right here, Bucks for the Brave.
Registration for the 2022 Bucks for the Brave event is now open through September 11th. If you'd like to nominate the hero in your life for the next Bucks for the Brave event, follow Sportsman's Choice and Record Rack Feed's Facebook page to stay up to date with the latest contest announcements and visit their website to follow the rules to nominate someone who you think would love this adventure. All right, during our time at the Bucks for the Brave event, we hunted with U.S. Navy veteran James Walker. Let's get out in the field with him and his hunting guide Jared Erickson and see how his first hunt went down.
Oh, we got our first buck. He doesn't have a tag.
And then there were none.
Oh, they're not far.
What's the biggest deer they've pulled off of this place?
Oh, they'll have some over 200.
Really?
This is my 4th year, and I've watched all these deer with the yellow tag, green tag, all that stuff. I've watched them grow up, and I can tell you, since the first year, they were big then.
Yeah.
And every year you see them, and you're like, oh, we can't shoot that one, we can't shoot that one. Now, all we're shooting is the tag deer, so you're in luck.
Well, we had a pretty good morning. We saw a lot of activity, saw lots of does, a nice little buck, but a little young for what we're looking for, but very promising. And it was exciting to hear a couple of shots and know some of my buddies got a nice buck that we got the chance to look at and get our hands on, which is always a pleasure, which is mine, but glad to be able to see it and get the opportunity to experience it anyway with him. So.
Yep, always a good first morning when we get a deer on the ground for sure, so glad for Jason.
Yeah, I was too. Love to see it. I love to touch it. I never handled a deer that big, so that's just a good thing anyway.
Yep.
Here's James' thoughts on how his time here at Trinity Oaks has played out.
One thing, just being out in the woods is an incredibly relaxing opportunity. They have created something here that's unique. They have some incredibly healthy population of deer and exotic animals. We have seen an unbelievable number of deer, some really, really nice bucks, not the ones we're looking for just the right trophy buck. We've seen some axis deer, we've seen some Oryx goats. We've seen some other exotics that I can't pronounce the name of them. They're just beautiful to look at. But the volume of deer here is just mind-blowing. I've never seen this much a concentration of healthy trophy-sized deer in one place.
It's the evening of day 2, and James and Jared are headed back to the stands. Let's see if we can get our hands on that trophy buck for James.
It's all dead.
It's pretty now.
He's pretty.
Oh, look at that little booger. He just squeezed in between the pins, pulled the pin spine out, and squeezed it in there to the feeder. It's too cool.
I ain't jumping this.
I'm smarter than that. It's funny.
Well, we may not have witnessed James get his trophy class buck during our time with him, but that doesn't mean he ended up going home empty-handed. Check out this massive stud of a buck he harvested later in the week. Congratulations, James. What a gorgeous buck to take back home. When our servicemen leave active duty, it often feels as if they're leaving behind their calling and the familial bonds they formed while in service. What Record Rack and others have done for the last 6 years in hosting the Bucks for the Brave event is to find a way to give back to those who devoted their lives to protecting ours. This hunt is a chance for those veterans and first responders to connect with others who've endured similar circumstances throughout their careers in service to our country, and within 5 short days offers an incredible opportunity for a sense of healing and camaraderie. Before we wrap up our time at Trinity Oaks, let's hear from our veterans one last time.
The organization, what they're doing is fabulous. You know, think that they're going out of their way to support us, to provide opportunities for the disadvantaged children, the other veterans groups they work with. It's amazing to see what they've got here. But now we also have an opportunity to share and promote what they're doing here, and I think that's an important thing because it needs to happen. It needs to introduce more people that might not otherwise be introduced to outdoors, ever get out of the city to have a chance to get out here and see this great land around us and all that they're doing here, so it's a pretty neat thing.
The cool part is getting to see the guys from the other services and communicating with them and just fellowshipping and getting to know their stories. Yes, I came on to hunt, and the hunt, I think, after knowing these guys and meeting these guys, it's all secondary. I mean, these guys have experienced some things that most people couldn't even imagine.
All of us here have issues. A lot of it is PTSD, and then, of course, all the injuries, the bullets and shrapnels. And this is a way to get away from your thoughts. It's the PTSD is a real problem. And hunters, not even military, hunters we have a bond. Now you add that with a bunch of military guys that enjoy being outside, whether it's hunting or fishing, and then you come together. It's just people you don't even know you bond with. You don't have to say much to them because they know what you went through and you know what they have gone through. And it's just It's just really, really, really special.
In closing, we would like to thank Cargill, Trinity Oaks, Sportsman's Choice, Record Rack, and all the other sponsors for hosting this once-in-a-lifetime event. And finally, we extend a sincere thank you to the brave men and women who've donned the uniforms to protect and serve not only our country, but our communities as well. If you know someone who would benefit from being invited to the next Bucks for the Brave event, follow the Sportsman's Choice and Record Rack Feed Facebook page to stay up to date with announcements, and head over to their website to send in your nominations today.